This is Lindsay, the Linzinator,
And this is Aaron E-Rin.
and
And
it's
it's
all
all
good.
good.
All right, well, what we decided to do today is we decided to change topics. You know,
And now we decide that we are going to talk about God. Something that,
it's very
not a lot of
confusing and
it is.
hard,
And not a lot of people like to touch on that subject
but
very
we
much.
are because I do love God, and I'm trying to get a better relationship with God. And they tell us what we need to do is to tell other people about God. So that's what we're going to use our show for.
Yeah.
So we can
And
be witnesses.
right.
Because remember what they said? Witness is to see.
Exactly.
Right.
So and good news for me, October 5th, which I believe is Monday, it will be a whole year since I've been baptized.
Yay! Awesome, Lindsay.
I know. It seems like it's been a really, really hard year. And they said, like, I don't remember who told me, but they said that, like, after you get baptized, it seems like life is just kind of a little bit harder. And it was, like, there was a lot of things that I was tempted by and that I did lead into temptation, but I repented for what I
Right.
did. Um, but for me, God will always be with me no matter what. And I don't know how to say this.
They'll just come to you.
Like, to love God means like you love something that is like all it's everywhere and it's always going to be there.
I know.
And you, even if you have no one else to turn to, that you can always talk to God. And he talks to you. I know he talks to me because I know that the devil talks to me. So the devil's talking to me, God's talking to me too. You know,
Right.
like the other day, um, I found out that I was going to be working a lot more, and I was talking about going to school, and someone said they didn't know when I would ever have time to go to school. And so to me, like, and then I thought, well, maybe you just shouldn't start school yet. You should just wait another year. Or, I've already been out of high school for over a year, so I was figuring that was like the devil kind of getting to me, and I'm like, no, right now I just gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta work as much as I gotta work, and I gotta go to school. You know, I just gotta get it done.
There's always time for school. If you
There
really
is.
want to go, you'll find time.
Yeah. And then you always have to find time for God. You know, even if
I
it's just
know.
15 minutes, in the morning when you get up, praise God, thank Him for waking you up this morning, for all the blessings that you have in your life. You may not be driving a Ferrari, but hey, the bus ain't a bad thing. And your little beater car that may sound kind of loud, but hey, it gets you where you need to go. You know?
Yeah, at least you're not walking in the rain.
Right.
That sucks.
I mean, as long as you're able to, feed yourself a little bit.
Function.
Right.
Really.
Exactly. You need to be thanking God for all these things.
You should be.
I know.
I know
That's
too.
good. What about you, Anne?
Well, just lately, I've been going through a whole bunch of things. Like, for example, I used to sit on the balcony at church, and then my sister wanted to sit underneath. And I'm the type of person that I just love to the same thing all the time, every day. I can take the same route to work. Like, I have a favorite jacket that I like to wear. Just
Yeah.
like I have
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. What was I just saying?
You were talking about how you like the same things. And you were talking about sitting on the balcony church. And
Right. Okay, so this is what happened. So my niece comes up and she's like, Aaron, she goes, do you want to sit downstairs with my mom? And I'm like, sure. But like as soon as I got down there, I felt uncomfortable. Like that wasn't the spot for me to be at. I started feeling fat. The devil was telling me to walk out. And our pastor was up there talking about if anybody gets up, if anybody moves around, it's just the devil. Ignore him. And the devil was trying to get me to be that person. But I won.
yeah.
Yeah, and the bad thing is we were in the middle of praise and worship, and I was standing up, and I was so hot, and you're supposed to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I sat down, I was cool.
Really?
So I sat down the rest of praise and worship.
That's not good.
I know. But, and then I took me and my kids to get prophesized that day.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's very, upbeat compared to what happened before. It was going down for me in service.
Right.
I was doing all kinds of fighting.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that.
Yeah.
We want to hear about that.
Right. And something that our pastor said is that, when you have God into your life, like everything gets bigger, like your world becomes a bigger place.
And it does.
It's true. I've met so many people. I mean, just so many people on my walk with God. I believe my job where I work, that is a blessing from God. I I mean, just the way it happened was just crazy. And and my boss, she is a Christian woman. She goes to church. She is a very, very, I see God within her. She is so nice. I mean, she's caring. I could never see this woman hurting anybody. I mean, I thank God for her because without her, I definitely wouldn't have some things that I have or did some things that I've done. So to her, thank you. I won't say her name.
You're welcome.
So, and just amazing people I've met. Um, at one of the church events that we went to, I think it was the ladies' tea. I met this woman, and she had on
Oh,
these
I
great
loved her!
shoes.
She was so hot. I saw her one time after that.
You did?
That's it. At the Christmas play.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she had these great shoes on. I was like, those shoes are
She was
awesome.
inspirational when you talked to
She
her.
was inspirational when you talked to her, and she was one of those women. She was a beautiful, phenomenal woman. I mean, like, she was just beautiful, and she was inspirational.
They were little Kim shoes.
They were little Kim shoes.
I know. All right, well, that's all we're going to talk about this week. We're definitely, comment below. Tell us, your journeys. If you win, if you lose. I mostly lose.
Yeah,
That's real
I do
talk.
too.
But I win sometimes. I didn't walk out of church the other day, right?
Right.
All right. You just got to be strong, win them, leave comments. If you want to shout out, leave a comment.
Right.
All right. And we're still doing our sub for sub contest.
Yeah, sub for sub contest.
We have no new subs. So maybe we'll change this week.